speaking of separate brands and separate shows, WWE. The rumors are what I've heard. My sources. Just kidding. Uh, I've heard and I've been told that, which I mean, I'm sure this is already out there. You can probably Google it and see it around. Nick Khan really wants to make NXT like a real third brand, not a developmental anymore. Instead of creating, remember I was telling you a few episodes ago, Nick Khan wants a third show that's TVMA, and he wants like a third brand, like a third WWE 2 hour long program as well. And instead of making like a whole new concept that's TVMA, Nick Khan apparently is pushing really hard for NXT to simply just become the third brand of WWE. And that's why we're starting to see Corbin and we're starting to see Rollins and Breaker, and they're really gonna, yeah, they're starting to make that show into like a third must watch, whatever. Some say this is in response to Collision. What are your thoughts on all that?
All right, I guess I will start with the last thing first. It's definitely not. It has nothing to do with Collision. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay attention to AEW to where Tony Khan pays attention to WWE.
Right.
But, like, okay, I know you're not going to do the Vince voice, so I won't start it going. But it's all like, what? Who's that guy? You know what I'm saying?
What?
Anyway,
Collision? Collision? What the fuck is that?
I'm not colliding with the Forbidden Door. Hey,
Collision? You colliding with me? You're colliding with me? CM Punk. What the fuck? And that bald headed fuck and his tag team partner. Where are we gonna put them in fucking young buck outfits?
yeah,
What the
pretty
fuck
much.
happened? Don't they work for me? Vince, well, you've been gone a while, and I thought they worked for me. Yeah. That's all you're getting today. It's great. It'll be great. I can still do Tony.
Right. Mr. Khan, there's a call on line one. It's Mr. McMahon. What? He's just marking out. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah. Khan, get Khan on the phone. What?
Now. Jericho. Oh shit. The cans.
Yeah, I got an idea. Someone get Chris Jericho on the phone. Yeah.
Don't.
I've got an idea, Chris. Tell me about it, Vince. Yeah, we're gonna start a cruise. Yeah. We're gonna do a cruise, WWE Cruise Line. Yeah, there'll be a bunch of podcasts. You're gonna be on it, Chris. I want you to run it. Well, Vince, me and Tony already have a cruise of our own. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I came up with the idea first. That's right. I'm gonna buy boats. I'm gonna buy the idea of boats. Oh, God. Yeah. Give me Tugboat. Where's Tugboat? Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna feud with Roman Reigns. SummerSlam. Tugboat. Roman Reigns. I can see it now. That's great shit, man. Tony, yeah. Yeah. Vince wants to talk to you. Sounds like a great idea. We'll cross promote it and do a WWE exclusive feud. It'll be great.
Yeah, Tony would for sure do it.
Yeah.
That's the real.
Yeah. So, how many years until Vince actually buys AEW? Your prediction?
I don't. I think it will be Triple H buying it. You know what I'm saying?
I think it will have more longevity than people think, simply because Tony Khan is a young dude and he's got tons of money to burn through. And yeah.
Well, like you said, AEW's pleasing the station with the 5,000 plus. You know what I'm saying? So technically, they're not going anywhere, despite their opinion they're shitty wrestling.
Right.
Can we talk about WWE now?
Yeah, on NXT, we brought up the third brand. We've seen Corbin there, Rollins there, Ali's down there. They're going to start establishing that show.
And how much of that roster just came up and is like a mainstay already? Like, look at my man.
Well, I think they're just sort of, I think that's why they're doing that. They're blending them all together. And we're going to go back to the days of like, okay, Do you remember? I don't know why this name came to mind, but like what was her name? Candice Michelle.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was green as shit. She wasn't a great wrestler. She learned over time a lot. Like we're gonna go back to that, where we're gonna see the real green as shit guys. They're gonna just go up to the main roster and have to figure it out. That's what I truly believe, and I think they're developmental. They're gonna start. The fans are gonna cry and say we want NXT to be developmental, but I think they evolve and they start doing something more like local television to develop the talent. I think they're going towards that because NXT is just too. We shouldn't be watching these guys develop in this way. It should be like OVW or FCW, like very regional and shit.
Uh, I don't know, man. Like it's just like it's not that like we shouldn't be visualizing it and whatnot. I don't. Uh, I don't want to say you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because like I get what you're saying as far as
Right.
like basic old territory structure and whatnot, but like I think a third brand is important, but also like a training ground is also good. So
Right, but that training ground has become it's no longer a training ground. What it is, well, it is, but to the fickle fans, NXT's become Carmelo Hayes is the future. Call him up right now. Grayson Waller is blah blah blah. And then now that Grayson Waller's on SmackDown, everyone's like, fuck this guy. Oh, is this what he was doing in NXT? Like, just put them behind closed doors. None of us knew about the prototype and John Cena. We didn't know about any of that. We didn't know about Leviathan. We're marks who got to learn about that on the internet in hindsight. We didn't know about it at the time. We didn't get to watch it on TV. When I saw Cena the first time, I went, "Who the fuck is this guy? He's jacked, and I don't like his fucking baby face fucking attitude." And then he had a good match with Angle, and you go, "Damn, this guy's kind of over." And then they built him up. I wasn't sitting there going, "Well, remember in NXT, blah 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 blah." People didn't know about that. People didn't know Roman Reigns really before he got to the main roster. No, I didn't know about the Shield and shit. I'd heard, it's funny. I had heard about Tyler Black, obviously, and I had heard about John Moxley, both of those guys before I saw them as Shield and WWE. But that being said, I didn't know like you just didn't know that shit. You didn't know Big Show worked a match with Lesnar and Benjamin. Like, you didn't know they were a tag team. You just saw Brock and was like, who the fuck is this animal? It's the same way they hit Braun Strowman. The Braun Strowman's the last guy who came on television where my fucking jaw hit the floor the first time I saw him. Like I haven't seen anybody like that in a long time because I never now, yeah, he was one of Adam Rose's little backup dancer guys. I didn't realize that. I didn't notice that. So the first time I saw Braun, I shit my pants. And then Pete and like everyone, even you said it, everyone was like, yeah, Triple H kept him like a rank secret, it was very secretive. That's how their developmental needs to be. But you can't just erase NXT and its lineage and its history. So you you make NXT, you elevate it to the third brand. And then once they elevate it to the third brand, what is it still developmental? No, they can't do that anymore. We said it. Nick Khan wants it to be like SmackDown level show or Raw level show. So they can't do that anymore. So the developmental, quote unquote, is going to be behind closed doors again, some regional broadcasts. Don't be shocked if they tap into who's running at OVW right now.
No.
That's what I mean. Like, don't be shocked if they tap into or they build some other school, or they bring Florida Championship Wrestling back. Don't be shocked, man. And they don't put it on the network. They'll put it all in there in hindsight. You
can currently watch OVW on Amazon Prime.
Right. But that's current OVW you're talking about?
Yeah.
But they're not well, shout out OVW now, Snow, but they're also not a developmental anymore. Now, of course, you could say, well, any indie or whatever is a development, but OVW is a regional indie. If they elevate NXT, where do they develop talent? They're not just going to go, no, we're not developing anymore. Come from the indies. They're not going to do that. They're going to still do, like, there's nothing more valuable than getting those fuckers in gimmicks in front of live crowds and in front of cameras, right? So
yeah.
How do they do that if NXT is the same as SmackDown? That's not what you're doing anymore. So what you're going to have to do is my belief is they're going to start another federation behind closed doors. We won't hear about it. the smarkiest of smarks who are in the crowd will leak the shit to Twitter, and no one will pay attention to it, and it'll be this underground indie thing, and that's what it's going to be, and that's where Gable Steveson and all these fucking guys will go to learn now, and they'll still train at the PC, all that, but NXT will become like a touring around show, and you'll see that it's the people who get thrown to the wolves on NXT. Because let's be honest, man, a lot of it's green. You watch an episode of NXT, and there's a lot of greenness in there, but it's like the Tiffany Stratton. She's still green. She's great, but she's green. Okay, throw her to the wolves. That's what I meant. So was Candice Michelle. She was green as shit, but you throw her out there and she became something. You know, Trish Stratus was green as shit. 22 years old, man, got thrown out there and became a legend, an icon. So we're gonna see that again, man, and I'm looking forward to this. I think this is a good thing for wrestling. We shouldn't be able to see the developmental guys before they're developed. I don't want to see that. I want to see you. When I saw the Basham brothers, I didn't know about Damaja and all these guys. I didn't know about that before. I just saw them and they were fucking over with me. And people go, the Bashams were the worst. I loved them, you know, and that's why I didn't mark out over their FCW shit.
We don't review NXT too often, man, but it sounds like we're gonna start watching more NXT. You know,
if it becomes a third real show, I'll definitely watch it. You know.
Well, yeah, I'm already watching it, Doc. But yeah, I'm glad to hear, man. Noted. I'm gonna hold you to that, bro.